work, a place on a scheme to clean up the environment, or training.
I am assured that we will be able, in a Britain which is experiencing a tightening labour market where many employers report skills shortages and difficulties in recruiting the people that they need, that the New Deal, by matching the potential of young people with the needs which employers have, will deliver the opportunities we need.
At the Treasury, ministers are already studying how to extend welfare to work, with the Chancellor earmarking another £250 million. Ministers say the aim is to extend the system to older unemployed people. The government is adamant that there are enough employers willing to give work to the long-term unemployed in the pilot areas chosen. A £60 a week subsidy will help. Ministers also say that the young unemployed won't get jobs at the expense of people currently in work.
The government is pinning much on today's venture. If it succeeds, the unemployed throughout the country will have to do more for their money. If it fails, there'll be political criticism that the billions of pounds raised to pay for it through the windfall tax will have been largely wasted. Stephen Evans, BBC News, Westminster.
Telephone lines open at 9 o'clock this morning for people wanting to book tickets to visit Althorpe Park, where Diana, Princess of Wales, is buried. Earl Spencer, the Princess's brother, announced he'd open up the estate in response to the public grief at her death.
Princess Diana's family home, Althorpe Park in Northamptonshire, will open to the public from July the 1st, the date of the Princess's birthday, until August the 30th, the day before the anniversary of her death. Visitors will be able to view the island where the Princess is buried across a narrow stretch of water, but the island itself will be off limits. The Spencer family plans to mark Princess Diana's life with a museum on the grounds, housed in a converted stable block. Earl Spencer, the Princess's brother, announced last October that he would open Althorpe in response to the public grief at her death. Entry will be limited to 2,500 people a day, all of whom will have to buy tickets in advance. Any profits will be donated to the Princess's Memorial Fund. The Spencer family will decide on opening dates for future years after Althorpe closes to the public at the end of August. Eve Conway, BBC News.
A baby girl has been abandoned at a hospital with a note around her neck asking that she...
Apollo 17 was NASA's last visit to the moon. That was 25 years ago, when men played on the surface. In the early hours tomorrow morning, NASA starts a return journey to the moon. But this time, instead of men, they're sending a satellite the size of a large dustbin. It'll reach the moon on Saturday and go into orbit round it. Called the Lunar Prospector, it will orbit over the poles. As the moon spins beneath it, its 5 instruments will scan the surface. They'll find out what the moon is made of, and in particular, they'll search for water. Water would be essential for any future moon base.
Water would be heavy stuff to have to take to the moon. The real attraction is that in the future, perhaps, very large spacecraft might be manufactured on the moon and launched from the moon because it's only got 1/6 of the gravity. And there, having water, which is hydrogen oxygen content, might make it possible to actually make rocket fuel on the moon.
Most of the moon's as dry as dust, like these moon rocks brought back by the Apollo astronauts. But 4 years ago, a military satellite detected what could be water, probably from a comet, at the bottom of a crater near the South Pole, where the sun never reaches. If the Lunar Prospector confirms water is there, the moon could become a key jumping-off point for planetary exploration. James Wilkinson, BBC News.
Volkswagen have created a new version of their classic car, the Beetle. It's been unveiled at the Detroit Auto Show, but British fans will have to wait until early 1999 before it goes on sale here in the UK. The new car comes with a powerful 2-litre engine at the front rather than in the boot.
The non-league football club Stevenage Borough.
What'll I do?